Jessica Halloran is actually the Australian's chief sports writer, but she's here today in a different capacity to talk to us about Sex and the City and Just Like That. You are our resident mega fan.
God, I miss New York.
And also our resident critic, I guess. Tell me, when Sex and the City first came out, you and I were in our early 20s. We were out having a lot of sex and drinking a lot of cocktails and having fabulous lives, just like the girls in Manhattan. Why was the original Sex and the City so important culturally?
It was just this sort of moment in time, it being set in New York. The women all looked amazing. It was just this perfect sort of form of escapism, I found. I'd go over to a girlfriend's house and we'd all sit around the TV and drink a $10 bottle of wine, and it was a ritual. Everybody was watching it.
Yeah, there was a great range of characters too. Even though it was called Sex and the City, their attitudes to sex ranged from the relatively prudish to the completely liberated. And they were a new kind of iteration of the working woman, weren't they? They were not Melanie Griffiths in her little skirt suit, being someone's PA. They had careers of their own. They were kind of empowered, and they treated men and marriage and dating as kind of options in their lives.
Have you ever been in love?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Rather than the pursuit of necessarily a husband.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody would sort of sit around and go, oh, are you a Carrie, or are you a Miranda, or are you a Samantha? And it really became a topic of conversation. And they were having these conversations on television that we'd really never heard women speak about before. And it was a really groundbreaking series. And it set the tone, I feel like, for the early 2000s in some ways, and became this moment for women in general.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Here. I am not the type of woman who sits home all day waiting for a man.
It changed fashion too, didn't it? It was like, well, you can wear a dress and sneakers and a denim jacket and still be fashionable and professional, in fact, be more so.
Yeah, and remember Carrie wearing these big flowers at one point, and then everybody started wearing the flowers, I think, from Alana Hill here. It looked ridiculous, but
I was mercilessly mocked for attempting a flower in my hair once when I was in my early 20s by one of our staff.
Yeah. Gold.
Yeah.
Later that week, I had a religious experience at Manolo Blahnik. I need your honest opinion.
So then there were a couple of movies. The TV series ended in 2004, and then 2008 and 2010 there were movies. For me, that's when Sex and the City started to go downhill.
Yeah, look, the first movie I liked. I thought that was well put together. The storylines were incredibly believable.
Did you just...
Shut up, shut up, shut up! And just like that, Charlotte Poughkeepsied in her pants.
But I remember when Sex and the City, the second movie, came out, it was just getting widely panned, and I thought, oh, it couldn't be that bad. It was terrible.
It was horrendous.
Was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
The Liza Minnelli cameo, I remember watching it going, what are we watching?
They went to the Middle East on an ill-fated kind of girls' trip. I vividly remember a scene in a marketplace where Samantha was kind of getting pursued by assorted locals. It just felt kind of racist.
Oh, wow, you have an actual camel toe.
It just went from being this cleverly written, tightly written franchise to being nothing but a dog's breakfast, is sort of mashup of a musical with just some really poor storylines, and I don't think it's recovered since.
So in 2021, and Just Like That debuted to huge excitement. It was really wonderful to see these women now in their late 50s returning to the screen. But from the very first episode, there was disappointment, wasn't there?
Yeah, where we have to go back to here is this sort of breakdown off screen between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall, one of the main characters, Samantha Jones, and her not returning to this franchise, and the number of issues sort of bubbling around it and as to why she's not coming back.
Oh, I am fucking furious.
Oh, no, don't worry. We'll just get together tomorrow.
Some of the things that have been floated is money. I think the biggest problem with this franchise is no Samantha Jones.
They've attempted to replace Samantha with a couple of new additions to the quartet. a university professor called Naya and a woman called Lisa Todd Wexley, both women of colour who kind of joined the group on the fringes. The Naya character just disappeared after season 1 of And Just Like That. What happened there?
I don't know. Like, Naya just disappeared. Shay disappeared, Miranda's lover. I think what is happening here is that Michael Patrick King is bulldozing ahead with his vision without really stopping to listen to what the people are saying out there, which is they are incredibly disappointed that characters that we originally loved and adored, like, say, Miranda, has completely departed from who she is.
She's a lesbian now.
Yes.
Some of the time.
Yes.
And she's an alcoholic.
Yes. Recently there was an episode, which was a party episode, which involved Miranda becoming almost like a caricature of herself. She was a bit of a clown. She was wearing this silver jumpsuit and she was sort of overseeing this party for Charlotte. And it really didn't feel like Miranda. And I felt kind of embarrassed for her and I actually felt embarrassed for the show.
Yeah, this is a character who throughout Sex and the City was the, hard-nosed corporate lawyer who treated her puppy dog-ish kind of boyfriend quite meanly.
Yeah.
And didn't really need anyone. And she was hilarious. Now she's extremely needy. She's lost everything that made her interesting, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has. And so then it also leads to very weird interactions with other characters. And most recently, there was a very contentious scene at the end of an episode which involved Carrie and Miranda having a fight where Miranda is challenging Carrie about her relationship with the writer downstairs who is a potential new love interest. And it just turns into Carrie becoming this horrible, depressed mean girl. And it was interesting. I was listening to a podcast with Michael Patrick King, which is their official podcast, the Just Like That Writers' Room, and he described that scene as one of his favourite scenes ever. And I just was like, this is the problem. We're not enjoying it. I'm now just watching for the close. Like,
Which also aren't as good.
They aren't as good. Pat Field's not there, so that's also another loss for the franchise.
I went back to the original Sex and the City and watched the whole 6 seasons. And I thought, I wonder if actually our sensibilities have changed as a society and it was always kind of bad. Actually, it was not bad. It has aged really, really well, apart from the lack of diversity in that original series. It wasn't kind of silly and confected like it is now.
Yeah. For the most part, people are now just hate watching it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't found anybody that's gone, oh, no, it's fantastic, isn't it?
One of the things that I find confronting about it is seeing these women older. And I struggle to see the bad plastic surgery they've had, the kind of excessive filler. Although maybe I would also struggle if they hadn't had any plastic surgery or filler.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like internalised misogyny, What do you think? Their faces are significantly changed, all except Miranda.
I think it's really hard to move on from the early 2000s. I just don't think society's been set up for us to actually look at ageing faces like we did. The beauty of Sex and the City was we had these 4 women living in New York, living sort of these fantasy lives, but the fantasy's gone from And Just Like That. It's probably become a bit too real in some ways.
Now, in And Just Like That, there's bowel cancer and prostate cancer and people dropping dead and adult nappies.
Yeah, it's not very sexy.